Hello people, Awesome50 again, and today we're gonna do a review on Far Cry 6. Far Cry 6, the infamous Far Cry 6. The Far Cry 6 we all love. The Far Cry 6 we're all here to enjoy. This has to have been the worst Far Cry game in the goddamn series. This game is absolute trash. Don't pay money for this game. It's a lazy developed game. It's a cheaply made game. There's nothing different about this game. This game plays exactly like every other Far Cry game, but it's watered down. Okay, the best thing about this game is it's the guy from Breaking Bad. It's Gus Fring from Breaking Bad. That's the best thing about this goddamn game, because this game is shit. It's not a good game. So you start off basically, it's like the plot's exactly the same as Far Cry 4 for starters. So this isn't going to be a very a long review. This is going to be a pretty short review. So imagine Far Cry 4, but a lot worse. This is that game. Okay. So basically, you start off. The place is under attack. It's like civil war or whatever, and then you're trying to flee the town to go somewhere else, away from all this fighting, away from this chaos. So anyway, so you end up fighting your way, you get to this boat basically, and then Gus Fring makes an appearance, and then with these bodyguards, and everybody gets killed and you somehow survive. You survive a massacre. Everyone gets killed but you survive. So you do some quests for this which I believe is like CIA or something like that. You do a couple of quests for him, and then he gives you a boat for you to sail off. And that's the Easter egg in this, pretty much. The hidden ending, because I actually went to that motherfucking boat, and that's it. The game ended, credits rolled. You guys sat on a beach with a bottle of beer, thinking, glad I left. And you hear that the resistance failed, and then everyone died, and you don't care. So then I'm like, holy shit, okay. Reload, and then I did the quests, and then I stayed around. I was the freedom fighter, and basically it's like every other Far Cry game. You go to different areas on the maps and do quests for different people, so they didn't change anything there. But what did they change? No ability wheel. Sorry, ability tree. Normally you get like an ability tree, so the more things you kill or whatever, you can pick which abilities you want and move up from there. You don't have that, so you don't have that choice. You're kind of given everything you need, and that's about it. Next thing is no crafting. You don't really craft anything. Whereas in the other games, you crafted like bomb bags, ammo bags, health bags, where you can just like carry more health, do this, and this. You can't do that, but what you can do is you can craft. You get like these. I can't remember what they're actually called now. They're like backpacks with rockets on. You can kind of craft different ones of them. Okay, you can have weapon mods. You can actually create weapon mods, but that's very limited. They're all the same pretty much for every single gun. How the storyline plays out is exactly the same as Far Cry 4. You're a freedom fighter, you go to different places, you recruit different people, then you go to the final battle, then you fight the boss, you kill the boss, that's it, end of the game. I mean, if this was Far Cry 3, yeah. If this was the third Far Cry game and then Far Cry 3 was Far Cry 6, like in reverse, let's say they made this game before they made Far Cry 3, this would have been a decent game. This game would have been a good game in 2008. This game would have been a good game in 2010, 2012, 2014, maybe even 2016. But not for, I believe the game came out, I can't actually remember when it came out. Was it 2020, something like that? For a 2020 game, this is a shit game. There's no substance. It's not, it's the good. If the guy in this game wasn't Gus Fring from Breaking Bad, you wouldn't play this game. This game would be shit. You'd never play it. You only play it because you want to see this guy, and this guy barely has any lines in the game, unless it costed the developers a fortune to get this guy in this game. Then that explains why it were a terrible game. But this is not a good game. The map's the same. I mean, this is a conspiracy theory, but I'm sure they use the same map but just change it up a bit for every Far Cry game. So there's nothing different happened there. See what I mean? They haven't done anything different. The game's still absolutely lame. Far Cry 3 was by far the greatest Far Cry game they've ever made. For its time. Okay, for its time. Far Cry 3 was the game that got the game series back on track after the disaster of Far Cry 2. Far Cry 1 was just pretty much a completely different game. It did its own thing, but that's not a problem. Far Cry 3 was the greatest. Far Cry 4 was pretty good. You guys are probably going to be thinking, Awesome50, what the hell are you talking about in saying this? Are you out of your mind? Far Cry 5 was my favourite. Yeah, whoa, I know, yes. Far Cry 5, I loved Far Cry 5. I loved the guns, I loved the cars, I loved the missions, I loved the map, I loved everything, and worst of all, I loved Faith Seed. I would definitely take a Bliss Bomb for her. I digress. Far Cry 6, not that good. Doesn't do anything for you. Doesn't do anything. Play the game, people. See what you think. Don't take my word for it. This game, 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. And that's me being very kind. 5 out of 10 because it's a game which was made roughly around 2020. And it doesn't bring anything new to the table. If anything, there's not even as many missions or quests. Yeah, and they don't even have the funny, stupid quests apart from the one where you're chasing chickens, giant chickens. Now, that's pretty funny. But aside from that, nah, everything else is pretty shit. The truth is, people were getting this game and playing this game simply because of the DLCs. Now, I didn't play the DLCs because I didn't want to invest it. Okay, I didn't play the DLCs because I just completed the game on PS4, and then as soon as I completed this game, I bought myself an Xbox Series X. That's the only reason I didn't do the DLCs, because I didn't want to invest any more time or money into this game when I had a brand new console on the chair, which I was waiting to plug in as soon as I finished this game. So yeah, the DLCs look pretty cool. You've got the Pagan Min DLC, you've got the Vars DLC, you've got the Joseph C DLC, you've got them DLCs because it's all kind of set around the same time eras of the rest of the games. Obviously, so basically what I'm assuming I could be wrong, but I'm assuming it tells me that all the Far Cry games on 3 onwards all happen around the same time, except it was set in different countries, if you will. So that makes some sense. The DLCs look super fun. That's probably what sold the game, but playing this game, he didn't tick any boxes. I didn't pay for this game, actually. I borrowed it off a friend. And I ought to give it him back. It's been about 6 months. Yeah. Like I said, people, the storyline is pretty straightforward. You're a freedom fighter, part of a rebellion, trying to overthrow a dictatorship. So you go from different regions, recruiting people, doing various quests, blowing up. Well, actually, yeah, in the old games, you used to like liberate places and climb the towers. You don't really do that in this game. It's pretty much the same. You destroy the anti-air missile launchers, and you liberate checkpoints, and then you do liberate like bigger places as well. But again, them changes are so minor, it doesn't make a difference, to be honest. It still plays like the older games. Okay, so yeah, you go around to different regions, talking to people, liberating the regions. Then right at the end of the game, you get to the point where you can go to the main person's outpost, kill the main villain, new person in the big chair running the place. Pray to God they're not going to be a dictator either. And then that's it. It plays like every single other Far Cry game. There is nothing different to this game whatsoever. I think it's about time Ubisoft did something and changed it. Change something. Do something different. You need to change something. Ubisoft, like with the Assassin's Creed, for example, I loved the old school Assassin's Creed games, and then they did something different when it came to Origins. Now, I like both. I like the massive open world games from Origins onwards, and I like, the old school ones, like Assassin's Creed 2, the way they played and stuff like that. I like both, but Ubisoft did something different because they needed to. Now, Ubisoft, it's about time you step up your game. You need to do something different now. You can't just keep throwing the same game at us, expecting us to pay £50 for, or $60 or whatever for, and then giving us the same stuff you've been giving us for years. It doesn't work like that. Well, it does, because people still keep buying this stuff. Ugh, rant over. Like I said, people, 5 out of 5 for Far Cry 6. Not really the best of games. Awesome 50 out.